Hello everybody and welcome to another episode in our Birmingham Rum Stories, and today I'm very excited to have one of our exhibitors from last year, Katherine Jenner from Barn Rum. Hi Katherine, how are you?
Hello, I'm well, thanks. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. Now you're based out in Henley and Arden, aren't you?
Hampton and Arden, yeah, just near
there. So we have a local rum distributor and producer in the region. So tell us a little bit about the rum, how you got started.
So we're called Barn Rum, and it's myself and my husband that co-founded the business. And we started in September 2017 with our two initial flavors, which were the spiced and the smoked. The reason we're called Burning Barn is that we actually had a massive fire on the family farm here near Hampton and Arden in 2015. So it was so big that flights into Birmingham Airport were diverted. It was a really, really big fire, and it destroyed my father-in-law's business. So that was kind of like the catalyst for, being inspired by the way he reacted to that. He rebuilt his business after that. So we kind of thought, well, we're 30 odd years younger than him. If he can do it, we can do it. So that was really giving us the inspiration and the motivation to start a business. And then we were just seeing all this innovation in gin and also in craft beer, and, loads of new flavors, loads of craft producers. And we just didn't see that in rum at all. And we kind of wanted to change that in the UK market. We wanted there to be a real craft offering for rum drinkers.
Were you a big rum fan beforehand anyway?
Yeah, definitely more so than gin. We used to go into pubs and bars and be like, oh, it'd be great if we could have a bit more choice, because obviously there are some amazing rum bars, but the majority certainly back then, just had the same 4 or 5 big brands.
I know years ago, there's hardly a choice of either. Then a massive surge in gin, but rum was quite slow on the uptake, isn't it? But obviously we're seeing a change now, aren't we, in the past few years?
Yeah, it does seem to be catching up now. I think it's never going to be exactly like gin. I think it's always going to be a slightly different sort of progress. But yeah, we've seen some really exciting new brands come out in the UK, especially since we started. So yeah, it's really good. I think the more people are doing it, the better for the industry and for the category, because you need that kind of.
Yeah. What's the reaction been that it's a British-made rum? Obviously, the actual base rum. Where's that from?
So we import the dark rum for these 3 products from Guyana. So it's distilled at the Diamond Distillery. Because we're really about adding value. We wanted to add some really strong flavors. We wanted to do all that process naturally ourselves, and the rum has got to be really good quality, and it would take us years to make the same quality of rum in the UK. So that's why we've done it that way. Leave that bit to the experts for now. And then we're all about natural flavorings and being inspired by what's around us for the actual expressions that we've created.
You came to our festival for the first time last year, and the feedback you got was brilliant, wasn't it? I mean, they just loved hearing about the story and how you created it from scratch. I mean, you must have been really chuffed.
Yeah, it was such a great event. I mean, the atmosphere was amazing, and everyone was genuine rum lovers, which is always so nice to see. And yeah, lots of people hadn't heard about us yet, so we were still quite small. And although we're local, we hadn't we hadn't been to that many local events by that point. So yeah, it was so great to have everyone's response and loads of people buying and trying our cocktail and stuff. Yeah, it was awesome.
I know you sold out, didn't you, in the first session?
Yeah, yeah. It's frantically get back to the car and bring more stock in.
Oh, always good, always good. How have you found breaking into the spirits business? Because there's such huge competition and such massive international companies with big budgets. It must have been really daunting.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we'd sort of realised the task at hand, we maybe wouldn't have started initially, because it does, yeah, you kind of realise it the more you get into it, how much more there is
at first, isn't it? So you don't know too much, you're not too scared, so you kind of jump in, don't you? So probably
yeah, you kind of have to just have that naivety to just be like, yeah, we can do this. And then you realise there's just so much money. I mean, all the big brands are just chucking money at every single little advertising campaign, and that's essentially what we're up against. So you kind of have to, we just don't have that kind of money at all. So you just have to kind of go about it in a different way, try and build the brand slower, but with a real core sort of group of loyal customers, and do things like the rum festivals, which put you in front of the consumers, and you can really tell your story.
And is that the best way? Is that really good to get feedback so then you can see like what other expressions what other brands that you want to develop in the future? Must be quite valuable for you.
Yeah, well, that's actually one of the reasons that we ended up doing the honey last year, because we'd had the smoked and the spice, and they were really, really popular. Obviously, spice, people know, the smoked is quite unique, and as our hero product, because we smoke it with our own applewood. But there was a few people who would say to us, "Oh, do you have like something a bit more sweet?" Or, "I've had this honey rum abroad on holiday. Are you thinking of doing anything like that?" We actually have beehives here on the farm, so we just tried it one day. We just took some honey and mixed it with the rum, and it was delicious. So yeah, it was that customer feedback and response that made us launch that as our third expression.
So what's the best way to drink the rums?
So they've all got kind of different like individual serves that we recommend. So the honey goes really well with a lemonade, like a real lemonade. The smoked with a ginger ale, and the honey with a good cola. So that's kind of like the simple serve. But of course they do mix really well. Like the old fashioned is the smoked is amazing in an old fashioned. And then the spiced in any cocktail. And the honey is actually delicious on its own as well, just over ice, because it's a liqueur. It's 29%, so you can just have it, on its own.
Fabulous. We can try it again. And we've got the cocktail list that we have for the festival. I don't know if you've thought about this year's one. You want to tell us about some of the cocktails you created last year?
Yeah, last year we had the spiced calypso, which was with pineapple and passion fruit and the spiced rum and lime, and that went down really well. So
saying those words, it just kind of conjures up summer party rum Latin vibe, doesn't it? With the whole festival, it's brilliant concoction.
Yeah, I think it was because it was a really nice day. It was really sunny weather, and it went down really well because it was that kind of tropical Caribbean taste. So yeah, we'll probably do like a twist on that, and then something else with one of the other rums if we're allowed to have two on the list.
Yeah, definitely. Sounds so well. We'd be mad to, wouldn't we? But roll on post pandemic lockdown, and we can all get back, can't we? I know, it's so sad. What other challenges have you faced bringing this to market, or other kind of tips and advice that you could give for people starting out in the drinks business independently?
Sort of tips and advice wise, I think you have to be really clear about what your USP is and what your brand messaging is. I think they need to nail that down from the start. We had the story, but we didn't necessarily have everything else, like, because we're not brand experts or marketing experts. So that's kind of come over time. Other challenges, I mean, just from starting up, HMRC, they definitely don't make it easy for you to start an alcohol business, so that's kind of a long process. I mean, you can understand why, but it's a bit onerous. You just kind of have to believe.
Storage, isn't there, and VAT and all that kind of technical financial terms I had never heard of. That kind of the process of it. It's not anyone can just create a drink and sell it to anyone, isn't it? Yeah,
you have to learn, all their kind of notices and regulations and stuff like that if you're going to produce it, yourself. But yeah, they just care about the duty at the end of the day. As long as you're going to pay that, they'd leave you alone.
Yeah. Have you tried to sell internationally at all, or have you been anywhere beyond the UK?
We've sold into Germany so far, and it's really frustrating because we actually did have some really strong export leads that were about to kind of be signed off in March, but obviously that didn't happen because of COVID. So that's a real shame, but hopefully we can pick that back up when this all kind of blows over. Because I think export's a really great market for growing the business in.
So they said there was 10 million bottles of spice rum got sold last year. Would you say your spice one is the best seller?
It's not actually. It's neck and neck with the smoked, but interestingly, the spiced has like much bigger peaks. So like summer and Christmas, the spiced has these big peaks, whereas the smoked is kind of, because it's like a bit different. People want to try smoked rum. People who like whiskey really like it. That's kind of more all year round. Whereas the spiced is definitely very popular, and ours is like a spicy spiced rum, so it's a bit of a different take on the category. So it's really good.
Oh, cool. So what's the future hold for Burning Barn? Have you got other flavours in the pipeline?
Well, we have actually been using this lockdown to do a little bit of NPD, a trial and tests and stuff for next year, but it's still under wraps for now until we sort of can taste it and see what it's like. But yeah, we'd love to do some limited editions in the future. We'd love to distill our own as well. So yeah, hopefully the economy will recover and we can get to that.
You've expanded your portfolio a little bit, haven't you? Because you've got the 3 bottles, you've got your mini taster kits, you've got t-shirts, you've got baseball caps, haven't you? So you are being quite cool with the brand, aren't you? And trying to spread it in different ways.
Yeah, well, we decided to do the merch, which has been really popular, and then we did. We've actually just got a pick and mixer now on the site, where you can buy 2 bottles with some mixers, and we've got some fire branded wooden coasters. So that's kind of like the COVID pack through lockdown, which is a really great way to try the rums with some mixers as well. So yeah.
Just tell us a bit, go backtracking a bit about your father-in-law's business. What has it changed from what it was originally? What's he doing now?
So he's rebuilt that business. Initially, the farm here was the fruit farm. So that's why we have the apple wood that we use to smoke the smoke drum, because there's a load of apple trees that aren't being used anymore. But he now makes toffee apples.
Oh, yeah.
Of all things, yeah. So it's kind of a Willy Wonka setup, like toffee apple machine. We dip the apple and stick goes on, and then all the toffee, and it dries off and gets wrapped. So
yeah, maybe you could do that for the festival. You could do Burning Barn toffee apples, and we could dip them in the rum base, and then sell them. That'd be quite good.
Yeah, we've talked about doing like a rum flavored toffee on an apple. That would be quite good.
Yeah. Like you said, out of adversity, you can, pivot your business, and you're a brilliant example of that, aren't you?
Yeah, thank you. That's what we've always tried to do, and that's certainly what we tried to do with the original business. And I think maybe that's prepared us a little bit better for what's happening now. But you just have to stay positive, and we know we've got a great brand, and we're going to support the industry as much as we can to get everyone back to full strength. And yeah, I think we will.
And how is it to get involved in these competitions? Because you see like these gold medal rums, and we've spoken to a few as well. I mean, is that something that you're going to try and do?
Yeah, we might try and do that. It's we haven't done it before because it's actually quite expensive. We have to pay to submit each rum to each competition. So we've just decided for now not to do that. But yeah, maybe in the future.
Yeah, an accolade always helps, I suppose, isn't it?
To get a gold medal, yeah.
Why not? So lastly, just tell us how much each of those bottles cost and where you can buy them from.
So at the moment, the easiest way to buy them is from our website, obviously. So we retail, the honey is 29, the smoked is 35, and the spiced is 32. We're also available on Not on the High Street, the Food Market, Yumbles, various different online platforms like the Whiskey Exchange, Master of Malt, and when bars and stuff open again, we're in local bars and pubs and restaurants.
And fingers crossed, you'll be back at Rum Festival this year as well.
We'd love to be. Yeah, it's such a great event.
Oh, well, great to have you, and cheers. Look forward to sharing a rum cocktail with you very soon.
Yeah, thanks so much, Anita.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.